Hello and welcome to the Crochet Business School podcast, where you can use your crochet to build a business that will give you the lifestyle you've been dreaming of. Why does Etsy get so much hate? When I've been scrolling through Facebook and having a little nosy in some crochet groups, fairly often I see posts, people asking, where can they sell their crochet? But not Etsy. They make a point of saying, not Etsy. They're looking for a place to sell, and for some reason, they either don't like Etsy, or they haven't had any success, or they haven't made any money. But why is this the case? Why is Etsy getting so much flack from crochet sellers? Well, the answer to that is if you go and have a nosy at what these people are selling. You take a look at what they're selling, and more importantly, you take a look at the prices. And fair few people, fairly large percentage of them, who are saying Etsy is terrible, are those who are selling very cheaply. It's those that are not getting many sales. It's those that you don't see posting on their pages very much. There are a few reasons why you won't get success on Etsy. The first is if you haven't worked out your prices properly. Etsy has fees. You will pay a listing fee. It's only 20 cents. But for every listing you have, you pay that listing fee. And then you pay a commission on every sale you make. Now, if you price properly, those fees are not going to cause a problem. But if you are selling for the lowest amount possible because you think that nobody will pay any more than that, then you're going to run into a problem with Etsy. Etsy encourages you to include your postage in with your prices. But even if you don't do that, you also pay commission on your postage cost. A lot of people don't realize that one. It's called postage and packaging, not just postage. So you are supposed to charge more than just the postage cost in that category. But Etsy will charge you commission on your postage and packaging costs as well as your product cost. So if you're charging the bare minimum and you haven't worked your prices out properly, that's going to sting you. And if you're not selling very much very often, when you do sell something on Etsy, you're also going to see very little return because all those listing fees that you have accumulated will come out of your profit. So Etsy takes off what you owe them from your sale price. So if you're selling an item for £5, including the postage, you get charged the commission for that item, which is around 15% when everything's added in. And then if you have outstanding listing fees from your other products that you haven't paid yet because you haven't sold anything, then all of that will also be billed. So you could end up just getting about £2 from that £5 listing. And that can be a bit of a shocker. If you are selling as cheap as possible, you're going to get stung. There's no two ways about it because there's no room for fees in that price. There's no room for profit in that price. But you will get stung with Etsy. Also, if you're actually selling at a really low price, you probably won't make many sales on Etsy, because most people who go to shop on Etsy are expecting to pay a premium. They're not going there looking for bargain prices. They're not going on there looking for the dollar store. You go to eBay for that. Etsy is where you go for something special. It's where you go for something unique and exclusive. And you go there knowing that you're going to end up paying more than you would on the high street. So when someone comes across something that's really cheap, they're going to wonder what's wrong with it. Cheap prices does not mean that you have offered an unbeatable bargain that they simply have to snap up. A low price can make people think, well, it must be low quality. The craftsmanship mustn't be very good. It must be made by somebody who's just starting out. It doesn't make them think that it's something valuable, that it's something that's high quality, and that it's something that they're going to value. So low prices do not do well on Etsy. They actually do very badly. The other reason a lot of people don't like Etsy is because it is a very steep learning curve. Learning how to get consistent sales from Etsy and make your products sell, it's a lot of work. When you're just starting out, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to get your head around, and there's lots of bits and pieces to put together. As you continue using it, it gets easier because you know what you're doing. But when you're first starting out, you can feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall. Well, unless you put that effort in, you're not going to get anything out of it. It's not going to work for you. And so those who just want to put out a couple of posts and then make a sale, quick and easy, are not going to get on with Etsy. They're going to find it impossible. You cannot just simply post a couple of pictures, write a really brief title, put the dry facts in the description, tag on a postage cost, and then expect to get sales. You cannot do that with Etsy. There's a lot more to it. You have to stand out from the crowd. You have to know your keywords. You have to make sure your photos are top notch. Unless you do all these things and learn how that works and how Etsy's searching system works, you're not going to get the sales. You are not going to make quick money from Etsy when you're first starting out. Not because it's not possible, it is, but only if you know how it works, only if you know what you're doing. And let's face it, if you're setting up a shop for Etsy on the first time, you're not going to know what you're doing. So it's going to take time to get your shop and your listing set up so that you start making those sales on a regular basis. It is not quick. So the hate for Etsy comes from those who are selling at very low prices, who don't put the work in, and who don't see why they should pay fees. You pay the fees because you get what you pay for. You get the searching system. You can appear in Google with Etsy. You can't do that with Facebook or Instagram. You have to go and find all your customers on Facebook and Instagram. You don't on Etsy, and that makes it an incredibly powerful sales platform, as long as you're willing to learn how to use it. So the next time you see someone griping about Etsy, instead of taking that at their word. Ask why. Why do you hate Etsy so much? And they'll complain about the fees being too high. They'll complain about not getting any sales. And it's because they're not taking the time. It's because they're not pricing their products properly. It's got nothing to do with Etsy and everything to do with their sales model. It simply doesn't work and it's not sustainable. Etsy does work. Etsy is sustainable if you price properly, you know how Etsy works, and you know and manage your expectations. So I will always recommend Etsy as a place to sell, no matter if you're selling what you make or selling patterns, selling your merchandise. Etsy is a fantastic place to sell, and I will always recommend it. But you have to put the work in, and you have to price properly. So I hope that's given you a few things to think about, and I hope it's, taken away some of those worries from what you've seen online. If you want to find out more about Etsy, then come over to my free Facebook group, the Crochet Sales Support Group, and ask any questions you need. And don't forget to sign up to our newsletter for weekly tips to build your crochet business straight into your inbox. So thank you for joining me, and I shall see you next time for the next episode. Bye for now.